the screen?
It's live.
Okay.
I don't know if it's...
Can I start talking? Hi everybody! Welcome to the MacKenzie-Childs farm. I'm Rebecca Proctor, the creative director, and we have something so fun to share with you today, something completely new and imaginative. It shouldn't surprise you if you love MacKenzie-Childs that our imaginations stretch into all kinds of things, including creating our very own holidays. And that's what we're talking about today. The first holiday is called Frolic of the Animals. That's right, Frolic of the Animals. So we're on a farm and our animals are doing all kinds of interesting things and partying and celebrating this turn into spring, which we'll talk about in a second. But why don't you write us in and tell us what your animals are doing to welcome in the spring. I should tell you too that you can follow this incredible story. This is storytelling at its finest from MacKenzie-Childs. It's actually 14 short films, and we're in the middle of that cycle right now. So if you want to catch up, all of these films are on our social media avenues. So you've got Facebook, of course, you have Instagram, we're on YouTube, it's on our blog, and I really encourage you to watch these because they are magical. While they were making them, I had the privilege of seeing them at the end of each day, and I was just, oh, that's my favorite one. No, that's my favorite one. Wait, no, that's my favorite one. Every single one of these is absolutely delicious, so please watch. So first I want to introduce you to one of the amazing people that made this happen. This is Linda Bien. Linda, how long have you been at MacKenzie-Childs?
A little more than a year.
And tell everybody what you do for MacKenzie-Childs.
Well, I'm the copywriter and write lots of copy for catalogs, blogs.
She says that so humbly. P.S. This is the lady that writes all the catalog copy, all the blog content, every interview, anything, any written word from MacKenzie-Childs is written by Linda, who is an artist in writing, and you are.
Thank you.
You're amazing. So tell us about Frolic of the Animals. How did this story come to life? Or what is it?
Sure. Well, it's our version of springtime, and that was our inspiration because spring is a time of renewal and rebirth, and we wanted to celebrate that.
Perfect.
And we told it through our animals.
Through this incredible
Yes.
cast. Our cast members are here in front of us.
That's right.
These beautiful cast members. It's amazing. Their makeup, they never need touch-ups. They're always perfect. They look great. So tell us a little bit more.
Well, as far as the first day of spring, that in itself was inspirational. The first day of spring is the vernal equinox, which moves, the sun is moving across the equator, and in our case, it's moving northward. So we're really happy at that point.
It means sun.
It does.
And warmth.
It does.
After our long, freezing, really cold winter.
That's right.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that the first day of spring is World Storytelling Day.
Who knew? World
No.
Storytelling Day. Of course it is.
That's
so
right.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So it was a good timing for
It was.
us.
Especially if you're going to launch a new holiday and tell it through a story. So it all worked out.
So, and really, you've got to, again, go to our social media avenues and check these out because they're completely magical. So I understand that you co-wrote this
Right.
with someone also very special in our organization. Andrea Edwards, are you there on the phone?
I'm here, hello.
Hello. So you can't see this delightful person, but she's a sprite. She's absolutely fabulous, and you've been with us, did you say 7 years, Andrea?
This summer it'll be 7 years.
Amazing. Okay, so Andrea is part of the MacKenzie-Childs family. She operates remotely from Warwick, Rhode Island. And the other thing I just want to say about you before I ask you questions is that she is the most amazing artist as well. She has a passion for all things with animals, and she creates the most delightful creatures, so it was perfect that she and Linda co-wrote this together. So tell me about your process, Andrea, and exactly how you and Linda approached this together.
So as we all know, the MacKenzie-Childs Forest of Friends is really quite vast. So once we had an established cast of characters for our tale, we set to writing the story, and Linda and I sort of divided it in half, coming together to review and tweak each other's thoughts, and our different perspectives really kept it fresh, and the animals, they're just so unique that they're really fun and easy to write about.
Well, you did such an amazing job, and how did you and Linda decide who was going to write each verse? How did you do that?
over-the-top love and passion for woodland animals, so I sort of claimed all those guys right off the bat.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, the way that you came about it together is just, it really is a magical story. It's a beautiful story. Read this story to your little ones before you tuck them in at night. It'll only take you 35 seconds on average for each little amazing short little film. Andrea, is there anything else you want to share about your process through this?
Well, I think I've never created a holiday before, but we had just such a blast working on this one, and we really hope everyone enjoys it as much as we did creating it.
Fantastic. Well, you did the most beautiful job writing it, you two. Congratulations on a beautiful story unfolding. Again, we're in the middle of this 14 short film segment, so make sure to catch up and watch it now. Thank you two so much.
Thank you.
I have to introduce the next round of amazing, thank you, Linda.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Andrea. The next, come on over here, you guys. This is the next group. These are our creators. This is Bradley Kruger, the
Hello.
videographer, Corey Field, the freelance stylist, and hi, you guys.
Hi.
How's it going?
Great.
Good. Great. So these two unbelievable creative spirits themselves. Bradley, yes. Bradley not only is one of the photographers on staff and our videographer, he's also an amazing musician. Oh my gosh, you should hear this person sing, just saying. And then Corey also is he was first of all on our visuals team for a long time and fled our beautiful little group to go do his own pursuits. He's the most amazing artist you've ever imagined. You should see his paintings. They would completely take your breath away. So it was absolutely perfect that these two put these shorts together. So do you want to go over and show them kind of?
Yeah.
Can we just talk about the characters for a second?
Sure.
Okay, sorry. Just again,
Okay.
our beautiful rooster, our incredible pig, were they fun to work with?
They were very fun to work with.
So
They
you
were
had to sort of
a
give them
blast.
voices. I have to show people. Do you know what this guy is? This guy, he's called our pot croaker. Look at that. Can you stand it? So they're kind of extraordinary creatures on their own, but for these two to actually animate them was something entirely different altogether. Okay, let's go over there. And we'll show them how you did this.
Perfect.
I'll follow you guys. Okay, so what is this? Where are we now?
So, this is...
We're in the forest. Shh, we're in the forest. Is this the forest in our fields?
Well, so Bradley, I think he should actually. So I was new to stop motion when I came onto this. You know, the process of it. So Bradley really had to give me a tutorial on how he even sets it up for the camera part. So he can start with that, and I can get into my spiel.
Okay,
Okay.
so basically, once Corey was finished with his master work, as you may,
Okay.
when he built the sets, so his first day, I'm like, oh, well, I gotta explain to him what this is. Maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't. So he's up there, and we go to take the first still, and I'm like, okay, we just have to move it maybe quarter inch, maybe an eighth of an inch. So he's up there. It's like, oh, okay.
So okay,
Literally that
they're
few
like
seconds.
35-second short on average, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how many times did you have to move it for one 35-second little film?
It's about 200 to 300.
Okay, that's intense.
To get this guy from, let's say he starts here, to get him all the way back here, I mean, it takes the whole day. It really does.
Honestly.
That's a long
It
walk.
really does. It's a long journey for that.
It's a long walk
small
for
movie.
that, 24 inches of space,
Oh, yeah.
300 shots.
Our,
Okay.
our stop motion animation with these creatures, our cast, that's basically it. You take a photograph, you move it a little bit, you step away, you take another photograph, you move it a little bit, and then once all those are sequenced together,
Yeah.
it becomes a movie.
Yeah, it certainly does. What you don't capture when you look here, we're standing in this bright, happy Sunwood studio space. This is really nighttime, and it's mysterious, and it's beautiful, and it's quiet. And the sounds, there's no voice. You guys decided collectively no one would talk or say anything. It's just the animals slurping cups of, I'm not going to tell. Don't want to give it away. But go ahead.
So it was really fun. So after seeing exactly what you see as the viewer,
Right.
I can take a birch branch and make it look like a tree. So it was interesting because you can't make a teddy bear, for instance, stand up and walk. So one thing, little tricks that we had to do that as you, the viewer, could not see, thankfully, was to get these guys to stand up, I would have to do a little surgery with our bears here and give them little wire frames. So that gives them support to stand up. It gives us abilities to make them wave. Bradley even had the great idea to have them blank. You just have to
did.
you have to scooch the fur ever so much over the eye and then unscooch it. It's that was the one thing that was totally surprising to me. Is I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make a bear blank, but it was a ton of fun to get them, and it worked. And what they're on is essentially it's foam for the floor, and then it's often either pillows or batting and a blanket over it to disguise it. So it was a fun challenge to get these guys to stand on stable footing for the most part, because it's faux moss here on the top. So some of these smaller pieces, we had to get a bit creative with how they might have climbed trees or traversed a hill.
Walked through candlelight.
Exactly.
But is this the whole set? This footprint right here is the whole set?
It varies.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It
All
varied
right.
with this, like it depended. We had larger scale things, and Bradley can explain like exactly how we divided that up based on how big the set was, or even if it was the backdrop to be used. It all went with their story and the pages.
Right.
Okay,
it
so
was,
tell us about that.
it was kind of funny because we didn't shoot them in order, and we kind of learned as we went for like the next day to come. So, for instance, this set, maybe we could use the bones of it for a few other sets
Sure.
that were shot in this wood background, and then there was other ones that had more of a teal, and that was more like really at the beginning of the night where it's still like magical. And
Ooh.
so a lot of the times we organize it by the scale of our product, and then we went from there. So larger, medium, then we had small shots. Well, small, I mean, these even though these sets are 4x4 or whatever,
Yeah.
they were just a huge production. I mean, 12-hour days.
A huge production. In fact, I remember coming down here while they were working one day, and the entire space was covered in moss, and it smelled like the forest, and these two were covered in sprigs and branches and everything. It was hilarious. But I really have to stress how magical these moments are. You really brought them to life, and I do have my favorites. I'm not going to say because I don't want the viewer to know what they are. I really want them to watch the entire thing. But is there one that was particularly challenging you want to share? Just so that, let's tell us about the one that was just really, really tough.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
So I'll
You broke a sweat when you said that.
On a positive note, though, my favorite personally was the cats and dogs. So you have to look.
That
out
was
for
my
that.
favorite.
Of course it was.
That was my favorite.
The most so in terms of animating the product and building the set, it was actually ironically with the bears here with MacKenzie. So when you watch it, you'll understand. So there was like they were getting out of bed. It was because you have to make things move without any of your hands in there.
Rubbing their eyes.
You can't
and-
cast any shadows with your light set
Oh,
up.
look there.
Yeah, it's like a giant riddle, and you figure it out, and often you're doing like in-air yoga with poses on how to even move these things.
Seriously.
But the bears, Andrea was actually here during that period when we were doing the bears, and it was all hands on deck. We would have Bradley manning the camera, and Andrea and I would be doing, I'd be off in the corner, you couldn't see, and vice versa. And I think when you have so many moving parts, you just have to make sure you're keeping track of, okay, what's moved, what hasn't moved, what do we still need to move, how far does it need to move. So just having your mind on all those bases.
Continuity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who knew? But you have to keep your mind on that, and make sure if you're pulling a blanket and it was only moving quarter inch by quarter inch, you can't let that go any farther. Otherwise,
Amazing.
you start from scratch.
Amazing. And you all will see exactly what we're talking about as you watch these films. Anything else that was just particularly memorable working with this guy?
Every
Was
bit
it
of
fun?
Every bit of
Was
it.
it so
Seriously.
fun?
He's a
It was
good liar.
blast.
He's sweet, but
Linda and
was.
I know Linda and Andrea also had the best time working on writing together. It was really collaborative and amazing. So again, you've got to tune in and see these because you're not going to believe them. I literally was weepy at the end of every day watching these beautiful things you created. These guys, what an amazing troop of people. That's something about here at MacKenzie-Childs. The creative spirit here, mind-numbing, absolutely great. Are people writing with questions? They are. Let's see. Oh, Hazel says her favorite was the rabbits. Amazing. Someone else loves the pigs. Someone from Maryland loves the pigs.
Can I add something about
Yes,
the pigs?
yes.
So when they see it, I won't reveal the whole thing, but little pig eventually climbs up on Courtly Pig, and how they get shot is how we're managing it. Sometimes the pig won't stay, so it's like, okay, he's ready to shoot it, and so then it falls. That way, the pigs was a fun one, and I just loved that for Yeah, and
They're
also,
all fun.
but to Bradley's point also, I might do this stuff, but he does so much with the digital wizardry. Don't let him sell himself short. He brings it all together, and that's why Rebecca loves them so much. Thanks to him.
It's definitely a team effort.
They are extraordinary. Well, bravo, team. I mean, Linda, Andrea, Corey, Bradley, Beth, and who else worked on this, Beth? Just shout them out.
We had Elise and I were picking
Elise.
products, and as a whole team, the entire marketing team was involved in picking the holidays from the beginning.
Incredible.
And then how do we promote this throughout? How is it getting on social media? How is it on our website and
Right.
email?
Right.
So it was definitely all of us involved.
And it is magical, so you have to watch these. Tune in. You'll be absolutely delighted, I promise you. And you can see the links of our description about all the different characters and who they are and how they came to be. They're really fun. Another MacKenzie-Childs holiday started yesterday. It's Courtly Check Week. And that's another thing that we have created. And loyalty members will earn double points on everything and anything Courtly Check through the end of the month through March 31st. So stay tuned for the rest of Frolic of the Animals to unfold. You are sure to be absolutely delighted. Thank you all so much. Thank you.